Here we are in Wellington at Moto Guzzi, and we are going to do a second ride on the Tuareg 660. Lighting the candle. Okay, ladies and gents, here we go. Just going to go for a quick spin on the Tuareg 660. I've ridden one before, but there was a lot of haters. People hated my review because it was a bit scathing. So I thought maybe I should have a second look, see if I was wrong about a few things. And the other thing is, people said that, oh, the one that I rode must have had, you know, dodgy brakes, and like, oh, they're not like that, there shouldn't be that much lever slop in that. Having said that, yeah, this one's kind of the same. So weird, kind of, maybe not identically, maybe not quite as bad as that one. So this is in off-road mode. I remember thinking this was the better of those modes, but once again, it feels like it's just nobody home. Wow, I don't remember it being quite this bad. And we'll also be testing the brakes and seeing how intrusive the ABS is. I was talking to that sales guy, and he rides this as his daily almost, I think, at the moment. And when I was talking to him about like how intrusive and annoying the ABS was, he said, yeah, he agreed 100%. He said, yeah. Is this running out of gas or something? Man, it does not feel good at all. One of the things that I did talk about, and I kind of had a bitch about, was the seat height on this. And as far as adventure bikes go, I mean, this is a lot. The seat height on this feels considerably lower than the T7, which is the biggest thing that puts me off the T7, is requiring a step ladder everywhere you go to get on and off the thing. Not to mention the fact that, you know, if you stop anywhere on anything that's vaguely like uneven road, you're just going to fall straight off. So that's one of the reasons I don't like the T7. But to be honest with this, whilst I did bleat a bit about the seat height, as soon as I, like near the end of that review, near the end of the ride that I had on the last Tuareg, it was like I'd basically forgotten all about the seat height. It wasn't really an issue. I wasn't really thinking about it at all. So yeah, it's not horrendous. I think the seat height on this is about the same as the standard seat height on the Africa Twin, which I often have that in its high position. But I think the fact that it doesn't have an adjustable seat for the money it is, well, it's an expensive motorcycle. Like if you get the fancy coloured one, I think you're into 23 grand. That's a lot of money for something that doesn't have something as simple as an adjustable seat height. I think that's a real major oversight by Aprilia. Sitting and standing position on this is really good. I found that last time as well. Probably for me personally, and this is always such a personal thing, the riding position, I think this is probably pretty bang on out of the crate. Like I'm not sure that I'd be bothering to change bars or anything on this. Like it doesn't feel like the cockpit's cramped when you're standing. It doesn't feel like the bars are like too high when you're sitting. So I'm cruising along standing up now. It's like comfy as. But yeah, I don't like this motor much. I have to say, like getting back on it, I'm like, it's kind of worse than I remember actually. I remember like thinking towards the end of that ride last time that I was kind of enjoying the engine and it was sort of okay. It's a bit choppy on the throttle. I think the guy in the shop, he set this up so that it's got the absolute minimum amount of engine braking to kind of, because he just finds that really annoying. He said when he's travelling through, you know, rush hour traffic and stuff, it's just very snatchy on and off. But it's typical modern fuel injection, which is absolute f***ing shite. Yeah, so the other thing I was going to do is try slamming on these brakes a few times and see what happens. Let's do it. A very brief little lock up there. He said you can't turn the front ABS off, but maybe he's wrong. Maybe he is wrong. Maybe it is off, because I thought you could turn the ABS off on the rear and the front, and he said he tried. It's not engaging the ABS at all, like you're not getting the pulse through the lever. No, it seems to be working fine, not having any issues with that at all. Now let's see, it's an individual now, so this is with the ABS back on everywhere, I believe. So let's just have a look at this. Yeah, that's not pulsing through the rear lever as much. I had to be really heavy on that. Yeah, it's not bad. What's the front like? Maybe that one that I rode wasn't. Maybe there was issues with that. Let's go explore, because that was the first ride mode that I tried last time, and that's the most kind of intrusive kind of ride mode for sort of dummies, as it were. But yeah, maybe the one I rode in Auckland did have an issue, because it did seem to be activating all the time. What's that like? Yeah, that's really pulsing through the rear lever now in this mode. And what's the front like? Yeah, a little bit worse. So something you can adjust, obviously. I know you can go into the menu and adjust all these things individually, but I just don't have time to do that. So I guess if it was your own bike, you would just go into that individual mode and set all the things how you want them to be. I might just try that again. Let's do another little braking maneuver. Nope, no engagement that time, like just pulling up really fast. Yeah, I think the brakes on this does seem alright actually. I think the brakes on that one I rode in Auckland, they did have an issue, because it's just not. I'm just not having the same problems with this that I did with that. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I don't like the ride-by-wire. I'm sure this engine would feel a million times better if it just had a normal throttle and not this apparatus that's on it. So, yeah, those are my second thoughts on my second ride on the Tuareg. So I think I can safely say I feel like I was wrong about the brakes. There clearly was something not right with the one that I rode in Auckland. Maybe they needed bleeding or something. These ones, yeah, there's a bit more movement in the lever than I would like, but I think you get used to it pretty quickly, and it is pretty. I think the transition from not much braking to a lot of braking is probably a bit sudden. It could be better, but I do really like how you can tune the ABS to be less or more intrusive. Like obviously I didn't go fully into the menu, but even just from the little bit that I was testing it there, I can see that feels like there's a significant difference between when it's been quite intrusive or borderline not coming on at all. So I think that's really good. I still don't like the ride-by-wire. I think the throttle response, even in that mode that's supposed to be, you know, an off-road mode, which last time felt a lot more responsive, it feels really dead and kind of vague, and it's a bit, and the motor's it's not very peppy unless I guess you just need to rev it a bit harder, and I probably need to be revving it a bit harder. Overall, suspension's good, the chassis is good, it steers nicely, it's really comfortable. So, and as I said, the seat height issue quickly becomes not an issue when you get used to it. I just wish that it had an adjustable seat. I think that's a mistake that they didn't give it one. Yeah, that's about all that I've got to say about that. I'm going to obviously cruise back to the shop now. I'm hoping to ride Moto Guzzi the V85TT, their adventure bike. One of the sales guys in there, he's got one, and he might be going to lend it to me. Obviously I won't be able to do a long ride on it, but maybe just a little cruise around the bay and just get a sense of what it's like. Anyway, peace out. Excuse the ringing in the background. I think there's a kid over there with a bicycle bell, but anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and yep, catch you again soon.